for. I've got a nicer Jeep.
As much as you can.
As much as you can, exactly. I've got a nicer Jeep, so my worst case scenario is I'm out in the middle of McGrew and I break. Am I going to walk away from my Jeep? Nope. I'm going to spend the night with it until somebody gets parts packs in here.
And
so I'm prepared.
rescue you.
I'm prepared to stay the night in the field. Okay? Now I spent 14 years in the Army National Guard. I've been in the field overnight lots of times. I'm going to show you what some of the things I keep in my vehicle. I don't have everything with me because I didn't feel like pulling my fire extinguisher off and my high lift off and pulling my winch off and all that kind of stuff. I've got all that. I've got a 4-foot and a 5-foot high lift depending on where I'm going. If I'm going to play out here in the rocks, I bring a 4-footer. If I'm going to McGrew, I take a 5-footer. I have had to use a high lift to get my vehicle off of a rock. I was high centered on the rock. All 4 wheels were not touching. Jack up a bumper and start working it off. Be prepared. Be prepared means be prepared for your worst case scenario. What is the worst thing that could happen to you when you're out wheeling? Well, the worst thing is you could do like the guy did this spring out on McGrew. He went out unprepared. He went out without somebody else with him. He got the vehicle off the side of the road. Then he decided, I'm not going to leave it here. So he got scared. He jumped in his vehicle and tried to drive it out of there, and it killed him. 2 major rules that were broke. He wasn't prepared to be off-road, and he went by himself. Some of the other things to think about being prepared, think outside the box. I'm fortunate enough, I've got a AAA card. So if I can get at least off the trail, I got a tow truck, right? Right? There's like 4 tow truck drivers here tonight. I got a tow truck, so I'm good. But that's the kind of things you need to think about. How are you going to get off the trail? Are you going to get off the trail, or are you just going to leave your Jeep overnight and walk out? Do you have radios? A lot of us are starting to buy the miniature ham radios. I know Lee's got one. There's a couple other people here that got one, so that when there's something going on out on the trail, we can get on the repeaters and start calling for help. How many people got radios in their rigs at all? Yeah, everyone should have a radio in your rig of some kind. I keep a CB, and I'm looking to go into the ham radio as well, and just get rid of the CB. The only thing is, I like my PA for when I'm playing on the rocks and can talk to people. But so some of the things I take.
What are you doing?
Some of the things we need to have in our Jeeps, we have to have. If you have an off-road sticker in your Jeep, believe it or not, you have to carry a gallon of water. Why? Well, apparently a gallon of water is enough to put out a fire above and beyond our 5-pound fire extinguisher. I don't think it is, but there's my gallon of water. Some of the trails in Oregon require a spill kit. There's my spill kit. So I can soak up oil with this bedding that came out of the pet store, and I can shovel it back into my bucket, take it off the trail with me. Okay? Some people don't need to carry a bucket, but you got to have a spill kit of some sort, so you got to have some absorbent, and you got to have a way to pick it up, which means you probably need a shovel. So what we have done as a club, or as a group of people, we started putting together some basic standards for what you should be carrying on the trail. And you don't need to carry everything I'm carrying, but here's a shovel. Basic. It does the job. They're cheap. You can get them out at the surplus store. They're great to have. And they take up very little space, as you can see. Again, I said I'll spend the night out on the trail. So what do I have to spend the night on the trail? Well, I got to keep my bald head warm. I got to keep my body warm. I may need to really stay warm. So there's a coat, a jacket, a blanket, a set of gloves. Okay, it keeps coming. If I need to start a fire or signal someone, flares. I got a machete for cutting brush. I have 2, and there's a reason for 2 saws.
Why do you have 2?
Because they're easy to break, and if you break one, you can't get any wood. I don't know where my other one's at right now. It should be in there. The other thing I keep...
That's not sounding very prepared, Gary.
Well, that's okay, because I also carry one of these. Okay? If I need to climb a tree, tow a car, Got one of these. What if I'm getting wet? Let's dry myself off, keep it dry. Get out there, I'm going to get hungry. Now, I want to point that one out, because that's an important thing right there. Why an MRE? Does anybody know what the calorie content of this is? About 2,000 calories, about what you need for a full day's food, right there. You can survive on one of these a day indefinitely. So I keep one in my bag, in my trunk, and then having been in the military, I just can't get away from carrying a backpack. It's too convenient. And of course, inside the backpack is MREs that, oh, well, I guess I got into that one and ate something, you know? Snacks, exactly. I got this habit about coats. I don't like to be cold, and as you can see, this one's been in my Jeep. This one sits underneath my passenger seat. So I have one in my trunk and one under my passenger seat. Why? I don't know, but I do. Now, if anybody needs a coat, I got one I can loan, but I'm going to ask for it back.
So your friend's not cold too.
Exactly. More fire starters. Get yourself a couple ammo cans. They're cheap. You can put a lot in them. 550 cord. Tire sealant. More 550 cord. There's some important stuff in there. Toilet paper. Yeah. Using your finger on the trail sucks. Okay.
You get the wrong leaves.
Yeah, you get the wrong leaves, then you really got a problem. I also keep some basic parts in here for my Jeep. Thank you, Lee. These are tie downs that I'm going to be using in the future. Keep some hose clamps, extra bulbs for my off-road lights, some batteries, a strap for tying things down. In this can here, I have shackles like this on mine, and I leave them on all the time. But when I put them on, I tighten them on so no one can steal them. So I have to keep one of these so that if I need one, I can take it off. So I keep one of these in there. Inside this can, how many people carry this in their car but don't keep it in their Jeep? A lot of people, believe it or not. Basic tools, tire plug set, a couple crescent wrenches, some screwdrivers, and some socket drivers. Just basic stuff. Now, I know a lot of guys that carry a toolbox. And that's probably a good idea if you're going to be going to Moab and you live in Southern Oregon. But if you're going to McGrew, I don't know, I'm not going to carry a toolbox, because if I break, I'm going to send somebody home and they're going to bring my toolbox out to me. We're going to fix it on the trail. But that means I'm spending the night with my Jeep. So, how many people got one of those? Everyone should have one of those. Found my other saw. All of us burn unleaded gas, but most of us got gas cans. You can't get into the spout to get gas in. Got to have one of those. Off-road base for my high lift. This is the important bag to me. This is gonna kind of the segue bag for the next group of people, but I'm gonna cut in one more time. Tow rope, tree strap, controller, and everybody knows what's under here, right? Okay. Then the last bag, the most important bag, if you're going to spend the night on the trail. This one is an interesting one because I kind of put this together myself. This is my first aid and survival kit. And I use those words specifically. Compass, hand chainsaw, rain gear, knife, light sticks, bar of soap, water bottle with 2 kinds of water purification system in it, and then the center tab, my first aid kit. Now notice all of that fit in this little trunk. There's a lot of money invested here, but do you think I can pretty much so handle most things I'm going to experience on the trail? So what my point of this whole thing is think outside the box. A first aid kit and a shovel is not enough. If you're going to go out someplace like McGrew, or you're going to take off and go up in the woods for a couple days, you need to be prepared to stay for a couple days. Now, in my personal pack, I have a few more things that I usually carry. And this is something that's important to me. We've got some fine four-legged friends around here. This is a little dish to put water in for my dog. And this is the leash that I use for her inside my Jeep, so that if we get in an accident, she stays in. You know, we got to take care of these guys too. So think outside of the box. If you're going to have your dog with you, you probably ought to take some food. Or be willing to share your food. Okay? And then again in my personal pack, GPS. And I had batteries in here for it. And I think there's batteries in here for it. And you'll see some other things in here, another compass. Because I never know when I'm going to be with my Jeep or not with my Jeep, so I have two. Some bullets, yes, I carry. I got a CCW and I will have it when I'm in the woods. There's enough freak shows in this area. Okay? So I carry extra bullets in my pack. This box that I've got is waterproof. I can put my cell phone inside of it, keep it dry. So if you don't have a waterproof cell phone, it just so happens I have a waterproof cell phone also. Here's one a lot of people keep in their Jeep, but they don't keep on their person. It's real handy if you're stuck in the woods at night, you know, chem lights. So it's real easy to put together a real good package of stuff to have with you when you're out on the trail. But what I want to do now is everybody is now thinking about being prepared. What have I missed? You tell me what I've missed. What do I not have that I should?
But you lied when you said the most important bag had your first aid kit. The most important bag has the bottle of Jack Daniels in it. Everybody knows that, especially.
Whipped cream vodka, actually. The last time we went out was in our pack. I'm like looking through for something, and I was like, "Why is there whipped cream vodka in our pack?"
Survival's all about attitude.
You never know. If I'm gonna die, I'm gonna die happy.
So seriously, I mean, you know, if I've missed something, I'd like to learn too. You know. We talked about, and I don't remember if we really solidified this, but we have talked about, we've had in the past, we've gone on runs where people were not prepared. And nothing sucks worse than me having to dig all my gear out to pull somebody else out, because then I get to go home and put it all away and clean it up. So we would like everybody to have a basic set of stuff that they go out with. Now, I can tell you what we've talked about. We haven't solidified it, but we've talked about a shovel, a fire extinguisher, a spill kit if it's required. If you get an off-road tag, you're required by law to have this. You have an off-road tag, Oregon ORV tag.
Now, where did you find that rule at?
That rule is written, and actually I didn't know it was there. I got it from Mr. Merwin here.
It's on the back of the tag. It's on your paperwork.
It's on your paperwork. It's written right in there.
So now can you look this up somehow to see what?
I got to look it up, but I've known Lee for about 35 years now, and he ain't never lied to me yet. He says it's there.
Just told him the truth 30 different ways, huh?
Yeah.
Go buy your $10 50-cent off-road permit, and it's written right on the back of it.
It is. Well, yeah, no, that's the only reason I know it at all. I didn't look that stuff up.
Kids.
That's all right. Good part of your life. Yeah,
And that's a good point. That's why we had the fire extinguisher demonstration, because I've got one of those little car-sized ball fire extinguisher strapped to my roll bar. Well, first off, it's standing vertical, which I didn't know. Second off, I just learned that it couldn't put out a freaking match. Okay, well, I got his part. I'm buying a $35 fire extinguisher. You know, because there's a spot. I'm not prepared. I didn't know. Now I know. I'm going to be prepared. And the thing is, most of this stuff, I think probably the most expensive thing here, well, that stupid snatch block says Warren on it, so that was 75 bucks. The strap was 35 bucks. Shush. The snatch blocks you can get from Weimar for $19.95 from Champion. Go get one. I bought 3. Well, he bought one and I bought 2, so I have 3. Yeah, unless they're out, because somebody like me went in and bought a bunch of them.
But you gotta watch out on those.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter if you can get one use out of it, it's done its job, right?
That's hard on stuff. Yeah, right.
So
Gary's got the one more.
If it says it's unbreakable, give it to Chad and give it the test. If he doesn't break it, it's truly unbreakable.
So the point of this is to get your mind flowing, get your mind opened about what you can do to be better prepared out there. Like I said, this spring, gentleman, I don't know exactly how old he was, took his family, wife and 2 kids out to McGrew. 31 years old in his brand new 2013 JKU. Got it off the side of the road, got his family out of it, decided he could get it out himself, and his wife stood there and watched him die because he wasn't prepared. Now, I don't want to do that to my family. So which was stupid to even be back in the thing. You know, the point is being prepared. He would have had somebody else with him. He might have had a winch or a tow strap, a radio.
Someone to say stop.
Somebody to say, wait a minute, don't do that.
We'll call for help.
So, I'm not going to tell you what to carry on the trail other than what we would like to see you carry as a bare minimum, but I am going to ask that you think about it. Think about what you're taking with you so you're prepared. This trunk is bolted behind the seats in my YJ. And you can see what I got in it. I got enough stuff in it I could run a store out of it if I needed to. So it's not like it takes up a lot of space. It's pretty simple to do. So be thinking about it, and when next time you go out, be prepared, and we'll all have a kick-ass time. That's all I got.
We'll be posting. We're gonna put together a list that we want to see every owner that goes out with us carry. We had an instance, and I was actually gone to Cleveland, but I heard about it, where somebody didn't fill up with gas for the McGrew Trail, made it 3/4 of the way through it, didn't have enough gas to get to the end, and luckily somebody else was carrying fuel. It shouldn't be up to us to babysit. You know, I mean, I hate to be that way, but, and I'm more than willing. Chris is the first one to step up to help anybody. Gary, Mike, you know, I think anybody would be. But, you know, ultimately it's up to you guys to make sure that you're carrying the right stuff. We're going to start for sure requiring at least a handheld radio or a CD. We've had too many instances where somebody's taken off one direction, 5 people decide to follow them, and we're like, where did everybody go? So, and Major, same weekend that you guys did McGrew that I was gone, had to go up and rescue 2 friends that broke on the trail, had no idea where they were at, was trying to give him directions. He was out there in the middle of the night hunting for them. You know, I don't want that to be anybody here.
That would not be fun.
Preferably.
Yeah, and even with something like that, I mean, it was the middle of the night. I called Chris, let somebody know, hey, this is what's going on, this is where I'm going, and you know, and did I text you or call you? I texted
Both.
him, or
You're doing both.
Update him and let him know where I was going, and you know, so somebody had half a clue of where I was and where to start looking for.
Not that he was going to do anything, but
Assume he would do something with that information.
Well, I was hoping.
Hence, that's why he called Chris and not you.
Yeah, but see, you know, and perfect example, the guy, a friend of mine, he went up there, he has a Blazer, he's got Dana 60s under it. He let 2 guys, one with 2-wheel drive, you know, no front axle, and one with 39.5, open differentials, no winch, no rules, no nothing. Talked him into, let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go, when he knew better than going. And they ended up spending 2.5 days trying to figure out how to get out. And that was before they got into cell service. They called me to go up and give them a hand.
That's a good story. 2.5 days, and I said I'm prepared for 2 days.
Oh yeah,
I've been hungry by the time I got out of
when
there.
they got back, my family met up with them. They had like a half a bag of beef jerky. It was 5 adults, 4 kids, and 2 dogs, and a K5 Blazer. Because they left, the other 2 trucks are still up there.
So with that, I'd like to touch on the first aid kit. We're also putting together some bare minimum requirements for a first aid kit.
which will be one of the requirements that everybody has to have to go wheeling. Everyone has to have their own first aid kit. What's that?
They have pre-made.
Yeah, they have great pre-made kits.
The IFACs we had in the military.
Yeah, exactly.
I just make everyone go buy one of those. It covers everything.
Um,
Well, I mean,
This is actually, mine is actually a combination of a couple of those pre-made kits. This surplus store down here, guys,
They have
is
so much
invaluable.
stuff.
They have so much stuff. The ammo cans, these first aid kits, the water bottles, the purification system. Most of my stuff came out of there, and the stuff that didn't came out of Big R. I don't drive to Bi-Mart every day unless they got $18 jackal for sale.
Yeah, on that note, don't fall for, the big companies, the big off-roading companies trying to sell you stuff.
Yep.
Like, go to the tractor store. It's going to be just as good, if not better,
I got a lot of my stuff in OCS.
Yeah, that's what I go to.
This water purification system right here, I actually got it from Walmart for $26. One of the big name brand companies sells the same thing for $65. Really? Thank you, but no thanks. I want to stay alive and have a little money in my pocket when I'm done. I mean, it sounds ridiculous, but well, it sounds ridiculous, but if I paid, major name brand retail for all of this, there's $1,000 of stuff here in major name brand retail. I may be into this $200.
The only thing I have to make sure you know how to use it, don't just have it.
Right, that's a good point. You get a water purification system,
You have to go through an application, buy tools.
leave the instructions in it. If you get a water purification system, you got to know how to use it. It's a good point. It's just be prepared. If you don't know how to use it, either learn or keep the instructions with it.
When you're out there on the out on the trail, dying of heat, you're not going to sit there and read it. You need to know how to use it.
Yep.
You mean
That's
you
the
don't
other
want
thing
to use the high lift and me downloading the instructions with one bar while the Jeep's 4 feet in the air and you can't get the thing to go back down?
That's minor details.
What's wrong with that?
Kick it off.
I had no idea what you're talking about.
We had to kick my Jeep off the jack because we couldn't get it to go down. We found out it was
We're stuck.
stuck. Like we swear we're doing this right. We could not get my Jeep off of it, so we ended up having to kick my Jeep off the high lift. We're out there downloading instructions.
This is something kind of cool. It's a little tin can. What it really is a chainsaw. Hand powered. Comes with little hooks. Yep. Comes with little hooks. Kind of a bear to put together. You can actually saw a tree down with it if you had to. So I got 3 saws. I don't know why, because I do. I think I need to think about that, why I'm carrying 3 saws.
They're cool.
Well, I'm prepared. Yeah, that's it. I like gadgets.
Okay.
Okay, I'm done.